Namo Buddhaya, the Satasahasrika Prajnaparamita Sutram, the large sutra on perfect wisdom, the chapter 38. Without basis, the full understanding of all modes. Modes are of all knowledge. Subhuti, a perfection of what is not this, Lord, the perfection of wisdom, Lord, because space is not something that is. Subhuti, a perfection of sameness is this, the perfection of wisdom, Lord, because all dharmas are equally uncomprehended. Subhuti, this is an isolated perfection, Lord, on account of absolute emptiness. Subhuti, this is a perfection which cannot be crushed, Lord, because all dharmas cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, this is a trackless perfection, Lord, because both body and mind are absent. Subhuti, this is a perfection like space, Lord, because breathing in and breathing out cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, this is an incommunicable perfection, Lord, because thought applied and thought discursive cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, this is a nameless perfection, Lord, because feelings, perceptions, impulses, and consciousness cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, and this is a perfection which doesn't go away, Lord, because all dharmas do not go away. Subhuti, one cannot partake of this perfection, Lord, because no dharma can be seized. Subhuti, this perfection is inexhaustible, Lord, because all dharmas are extinguished in absolute extinction. Subhuti, this perfection has no genesis, Lord, because all dharmas are not produced or stopped. Subhuti, this is a perfection without an agent, Lord, because no agent can be apprehended. Subhuti, this is a perfection without a cognizer, the Lord, because no cognizer can be apprehended. Subhuti, this is a perfection which doesn't pass on, the Lord, because disease and rebirth cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, this is a perfection which doesn't discipline, the Lord, because all dharmas in their essential original nature do not need any discipline. Subhuti, this perfection is like a dream, Lord, because one cannot apprehend the one who sees the dream. Subhuti, this perfection is like an echo, Lord, because one cannot apprehend the one who makes the noise. Goshadara. Subhuti, this perfection is like a reflected image, Lord, because both mirror and image cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, this perfection is like a mirage, Lord, because no mass of water can be apprehended. Subhuti, this perfection is like an illusion, Lord, because its sign cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, this perfection is free from defilement, Lord, because the own being of the defilements cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, this perfection knows no purification, the Lord, because no defiled being can be apprehended. Subhuti, this perfection is spotless, the Lord, because space cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, this perfection is without impediments, the Lord, because it uproots all impediments. Subhuti, this perfection has no mental attitudes, Lord, because it uproots all mental attitudes. Subhuti, this perfection is unshakable, the Lord, because of the stability of the realm of Dharma. Modes of the knowledge of the paths. Subhuti, this perfection has turned away from greed, Lord, because its dispassion cannot be apprehended. Subhuti, this is a perfection which takes its stand nowhere, Lord, because all dharmas are not discriminated. Subhuti, this perfection is calm, Lord, because the non-falseness of all dharmas is not fully understood. Subhuti, this perfection is free from greed, the Lord, because of the non-apprehension of greed. Subhuti, this perfection is free from hate, the Lord, because of the unreality of hate. Subhuti, this perfection is free from delusion, the Lord, because the blinding darkness of delusion has been dispelled. Subhuti. This perfection is undefiled, Lord, because imagination is something that is not. Subhuti. No living being is found with this perfection, the Lord, because no being can be apprehended. Subhuti. This perfection is unlimited, the Lord, because all dharmas do not rise up. Subhuti. This perfection doesn't follow after the duality of opposites, the Lord, because of absolute non-apprehension, Subhuti. This perfection is undifferentiated, the Lord, because all dharmas are, Subhuti. This perfection is untarnished, the Lord, because it has transcended the level of both disciples and Pratika Buddhas, Subhuti. This perfection is undiscriminated, the Lord, because of the non-apprehension of non-discrimination, Subhuti. This perfection is immeasurable, the Lord, because all dharmas are without measure and cannot be apprehended, Subhuti. This perfection is unattached, the Lord, because all dharmas in their own being are the same as space, Subhuti. Impermanent is this perfection, the Lord, because no dharma is ever destroyed, Subhuti. Ill is this perfection, the Lord, because it is not bent on all dharmas but joined to Dharma itself, Subhuti. Empty is this perfection, the Lord, because it brings forth no fruits, Subhuti. No self is this perfection, the Lord, because there is no settling down in all dharmas, Subhuti. Markless is this perfection, the Lord, because all dharmas are signless, Subhuti. This is the perfection of the emptiness of the subject, the Lord, because inward dharmas cannot be apprehended, Subhuti. This is the perfection of the emptiness of the object, the Lord, because outward dharmas cannot be apprehended, Subhuti. This is the perfection of the emptiness of both subject and object, the Lord, because both inward and outward dharmas cannot be apprehended, Subhuti. This is a perfection of the emptiness of emptiness, the Lord, because the emptiness of emptiness cannot be apprehended. And so, for the great emptiness, the emptiness of ultimate reality, the conditioned emptiness, the unconditioned emptiness, the infinite emptiness, the emptiness without beginner or end, the emptiness of non-repudiation, the emptiness of essential nature, Subhuti. This is a perfection of the emptiness of all dharmas, the Lord, because of the non-apprehension of all dharmas, Subhuti. This is a perfection of the emptiness of all marks, the Lord, because by its own marks it's perfectly isolated, Subhuti. This is a perfection of the unascertainable emptiness, the Lord, because in the three periods of time, the three cannot be apprehended, Subhuti. This is a perfection of the emptiness of the non-existence of own being, the Lord, because the emptiness of the non-existence of own being cannot be apprehended. Modes of the knowledge of all modes. 37 modes corresponding to the path of all knowledge, Subhuti. A perfection of the applications of mindfulness is this, O Lord, the perfection of wisdom, the Lord. On account of the non-apprehension of body, feelings, thoughts, and dharmas, Subhuti. It is the perfection of the right efforts, the Lord. On account of the non-apprehension of wholesome and unwholesome dharmas, Subhuti. It is the perfection of the basis of psychic power, the Lord. On account of the non-apprehension of desire to do vigor, thought, and exploration, Subhuti. It is the perfection of the faculties, the Lord, on account of the non-apprehension of faith, etc., vigor, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom, Subhuti. It is the perfection of the powers, the Lord, on account of the non-apprehension of the five powers, Subhuti. It is the perfection of the limbs of enlightenment, the Lord, on account of the non-apprehension of the seven limbs of enlightenment, Subhuti. It is the perfection of the path, the Lord, on account of the non-apprehension of the holy eightfold path. 34 modes corresponding to the path of the knowledge of the paths, Subhuti. This is the perfection of emptiness, the Lord, because no false views are apprehended, Subhuti. This is the perfection of the signless, the Lord, because no discursion are apprehended, Subhuti. This is the perfection of the wishless, the Lord, because no plans for the future are apprehended. Subhuti. This is the perfection of the eight deliverances, the Lord, because they cannot be apprehended. Subhuti. This is the perfection of the nine successive stations, the Lord, because they cannot be apprehended. Subhuti. This is the perfection of the four truths, the Lord, because ill, origination, stopping, and path cannot be apprehended. Subhuti. This perfection of wisdom is a perfection of giving, the Lord, because no meanness is apprehended. Subhuti. It is the perfection of morality, the Lord, because no immorality is apprehended. Subhuti. It is the perfection of passions, Lord, because no ill will is apprehended. Subhuti. It is a perfection of vigor, the Lord, because no indolence is apprehended. Subhuti. It is a perfection of meditation, the Lord, because no distraction is apprehended. Subhuti. It is a perfection of wisdom, the Lord, because no stupidity is apprehended. Subhuti. It is a perfection of skill and means, the Lord, because no lack of skill means is apprehended. Subhuti. It is a perfection of the vow, the Lord, because no lack of vows is apprehended. Subhuti. It is a perfection of strength, the Lord, because no weakness is apprehended. Subhuti. It is a perfection of cognition, the Lord, because no non-cognition is apprehended. 39 modes corresponded to the path of the knowledge of all modes. Subhuti. This perfection of wisdom is a perfection of the 10 powers, the Lord, on account of the non-apprehension of all dharmas. Subhuti. It is a perfection of the 4 grounds of self-confidence, the Lord, on account of uncloudedness in the knowledge of all the modes of the path. Subhuti. It is the perfection of the analytical knowledges, the Lord, because no cognition which reaches everywhere is unattached and unobstructed. Subhuti. It is the perfection of the 18 special Buddha Dharmas, the Lord, on account of the complete transcending of the Dharmas of all disciples and Pratika Buddhas. Subhuti. It is the perfection of the Tathagata, the Lord, on account of the suchness that is taught by all the Buddhas. Subhuti. It is the perfection of the self-existent, the Lord, on account of its sovereignty over all dharmas. Subhuti. It is the perfection of the Buddha Dharmas, the Lord, on account of the full understanding of all dharmas is all in all their modes. This is the end of the 38th chapter of the Large Sutra on Perfect Wisdom, the Satasahasrika Prajnaparamita Sutram.